Всем привет и добро пожаловать на канал Golden Black. Это вторая серия игры Vampyr. И держитесь плотно. Все. Погнали. Мы ищем все это убийцу. Этого бишопа. Или бижопа, кому как. Так. Стоп. Не понял. Они воскресли. Зашибись. Как же меня это радует. Ладно. Будем знать. Так, подожди, там человек. Да. Ага. Так, я пытаюсь понять. Но нам, наверное, туда? Нет, не надо. Если сейчас завязать бой... Нам бой сейчас не нужен. Северные доки. Ё-моё.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Жесть. Дробь, да? Так. О, это, по-моему, как раз-таки наш. Что случилось? Звук какой-то. Так, двойное оружие. Старая коса. Чтобы задействовать особое свойство двуручного оружия, выберите его и нажмите, например, коса. Косой можно отразить удар. Если вы сделаете это вовремя, то нанесете врагу больший урон и оглушите его. Так, давай. Это в сильный? Нет, это не в сильный. Это сюда. А как это? Я менять их могу, что ли? Мне просто интересно, как вот происходит вот сейчас вот как бы... У меня есть... Ага. Вот, сменил, видите? Ага, я понял. Хорошо, буду знать. Извините, я вашу дискуссию прерву.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Бишоп, мне говорили, ты нормальный, только пьешь много. Чё ты? Я косу нашел, придурочно. Бишоп. Мне сказали, ты нормальный чел. Да. Перебухал мужик. Жесть. Это он их всех здесь пообглодал, вообще. Да уж. Не айс. Не, ничего не подбирается. Шиллинги дай. Дай шиллинги. Да сейчас тебя отпустят, подожди. Так, я не могу туда телепортнуть. Вообще должен, нет? Не хочет. Ладно, пошли спасем. Кто это?
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by skull?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Спасибо.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
А, мы сейчас будем его обследовать. Да, я понял. Подожди. Так, сейчас. Туда я не проникну, туда я не проникну. Никуда я не проникну.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire?
Скорее всего.
I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Это ты можешь сделать только в больничке.
I cannot enter.
Понятно, все закрыто. Ладно, пошли.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Какой классный у нас наряд. Доставьте меня в больницу. Повести анализ крови Уильяма Бишопа в больнице, я понял.
It's locked.
Locked, да, сраный locked. Я не понял. Твою... Чё?
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains
Чё?
life.
А, я понял.
Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Так, качество крови. Качество крови указывает на то, сколько единиц опыта вы получите, убив этого горожанина. Чем выше качество крови, тем больше опыта вы получите. Загипнотизировать. Чтобы выбить кровь человека, сначала нужно загипнотизировать его и увести подальше от посторонних глаз. Если ваш уровень гипноза равен уровню сопротивления жертвы или превосходит его, вы можете получить контроль над ее разумом. Ну давай.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Нажмите А, чтобы объять клея кокса, или Б, отпустить его. Объяв его, вы получите много единиц опыта, но помните, это приведет к определенным последствиям. Чем больше вы узнаете о горожанинах и чем больше соберете связанных с ними подсказок, тем больше полученный опыт. Да, я понял. Получается... Ням-ням-ням-ням.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fuck me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Угу. Я так понимаю, это его мысли. Ну, ничего, все. Я, честно могу сказать, я не понял, в чем была суть их вот этого вот... за что они там Ага, я понял. Я единственное, что еще помню об игре, это то, что чем мы больше пьем крови, это как в этом, как Dishonored. Чем больше там убиваешь, тем хуже все становится. Здесь то же самое. Я не видел, в чем суть была их конфликта, почему один зарубил другого, но раз нам дали возможность, наверное, я решил воспользоваться, потому что в дальнейшем посмотрим. Конечно, очень хочется потом как-нибудь так вот кого-нибудь отвести, но, блин, если его хорошо узнать, то не очень. Так, вот и больничка. Блин, как хорошо, здесь люди есть. Я понял, да-да-да, подождите, сестра.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Так, ну, здесь, я так понимаю, Скали. Или это больничка? Просто я слышал, да. Он сказал про Скалей. А, Скали вон там. Вон один. Бродячий Скаль. Другого я не вижу. Ой, заметил. Я подвижнее тебя, идиотина. Вон двое едят. Вот ты гадина такая. Фотография улыбающейся парочки. На обороте несколько слов. Милтон и Пипа навсегда. Ну, получается, не навсегда. Так, ну здесь мы ничего не делаем. Здесь просто бегаем вокруг. В окрестностях этой больницы. Так. Ничего нету. Я говорю, мне нельзя доверять такие вещи. Отнести бумажник владельцу. Так, смотри, здесь можно войти. Это в... Ага, а здесь нельзя. Сейчас посмотрим, сейчас все сделаем. Просто очень плохо, что не подсвечивается, что куда. Я в плане ящиков. Ну, не люблю, ты как дебил выглядишь, когда начинаешь соваться в каждый угол. Ящичек тот не тот. Карантин. Даже не интересно. Паут. Так. Угу. Все, здесь мы были. Пошли проверим, можно ли зайти. Объявление. Меры против инфлюенции. Угу.
It's locked, all right.
Дверь заперта. Угу. Ладно, пошли. Приемное отделение. Так можно перемещаться хотя бы. Нормально, адекватно. А, здесь уже нельзя, потому что спалимся. Ладно. Я пришел, сестра.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Отлично. Я вроде запомнил, где, на втором этаже. Итак, тут наших... Поскольку я их не собираюсь есть, мне не сильно интересно это все. Так. Но тут очень прикольно. Единственное, что, да, графоний, что-то с ним не так. Ну, ладно. А? Подожди, стоп, где? А, вон он. Куда-то пошел. Почтальон Печкин. Стой, а то тебя потом не встретишь.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
О.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Я понял. Я понял.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
О, я понял, она тоже здесь работает.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Так, у тебя дробовик Милтона. Сколько он стоит? Мало у меня. Я хочу дробовик Милтона. Хочу. А это мое, да? Топорик клея. Так, это что? Это... Куда мы зашли? Это купить, это продать, да. Это мое. Скромное, но дорогое обручальное кольцо клея кокса. Бутылка алкоголя. Ну, вот это вот все. Ну, наверное, пока не надо, но я понял. Спасибо большое. Да, вон она. А, нет. Сестра. И ладно, я не хочу пока ни с кем разговаривать. Найти свой кабинет.
This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital. That's Pembroke nowadays.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know.
А, понятно.
I'm a vampire.
Шизофреничка. Я не могу задать личный вопрос.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require?
Да.
Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Интересно, она реально? Медосмотр? Так, подожди, заинтриговал. Ага. А ее не загипнотизируешь? Подробнее. О.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Ну, вообще, да, я вампир.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Понятно. Понял.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Да, я понял. Оу. Какие-то подсказки есть, но я не могу задать ничего такого, да? Я уже это спросил. Ладно.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Понятно, шизофреничка.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
О!
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Клей Кокс. Когда это успелось? Я его только что выпил.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Везет же тебе. Иммунитет у тебя, да?
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Ладно, пошли хаваем.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Я понял.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Да, интересно.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Ладно, пойдем.
The daily routine.
Это Вампирелла здесь стоит. Пойдем в свой кабинет. Нет. Заперто.
Not now.
Доктор Свонси. Это не мой, нет. Мой вот там дальше, наверное. Мне, по-моему, тоже сделали. Так, это операционная, явно. О! Пациент Томас Элвуд, мужчина, 28 лет, лечащий врач доктор Типпетс. Состояние выздоравливает. Дата поступления 16 сентября, дата выписки не определена. Применение. Во время войны лицо пациента было серьезно обожжено и деформировано при взрыве бомбы. Даже получая самые сильные успокаивающие средства, он регулярно испытывает сильнейшую боль, словно, по его словам, огонь все еще горит под кожей. Осмотр рубцующихся тканей не показал следов воспаления, инфекций или отеков. Шрамы чистые. Может, это случайно и неизлечимого повреждения нервов? Пациент постоянно винит себя в своих физических уродствах. Может, это случай чувства вины выжившего? Фантомная боль как наказание за то, что он не умер вместе со своими товарищами? Вполне возможно. Сюда. Угу. Я бы поставил 55 урон, а здесь 64. Сюда. Возьми револьвер. Интересно просто, как вообще происходит. Ладно. Доктор Типпетс, доктор Рикланд и доктор Эккарт. О, и вот мое доктор Рид. Доктор Рид.
This must be the place.
А вот и кабинет.
It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Пока нечего пополнять, да? Так, что у нас еще? Это стол.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Так давай дадим. Статья об иконах. Ну, давайте вы лучше сами прочитайте. Я уже не в силах читать. Но я же говорил, что здесь писать. Так. Это спать, это сюда. Так, оружие. А что с этим можно сделать? Бутылка алкоголя. Чтобы получить новые рецепты, нужно проанализировать. Угу. Это можно разобрать. Ага, переработать. Вот, так, это переработать, это улучшить. Образец крови. Слабая сыворотка регенерации моментально восстанавливает 300 единиц здоровья, а затем 150 единиц здоровья за 15 секунд. Угу. Так. Это разобрать можно. Бутылка дешевого джина, бутылка алкоголя.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Так. Я понял. Отдохнуть в кровати. Так, у нас много опыта. Я бы хотел... Да, вот это. Вы создаете невидимый барьер, который поглощает урон от оружия ближнего боя. Так, отлично. Вы останавливаете кровь в венах цели, делая ее беззащитной. Вы совершаете сверхъестественное, я так понимаю, это пассивное, нет? Сверхъестественный прыжок к цели и наносите ей урон во время приземления. Так, переключение. Вы расходуете выносливость, чтобы раствориться во тьме и стать невидимым для большинства врагов. Расход выносливости увеличивается, если вы двигаетесь. Вы выйдете из тени, если нанесете удар. Уклонитесь или израсходуйте запас выносливости. Ну вот это интересно. Вы совершаете сверхъестественный прыжок к цели и наносите ей урон во время приземления. Хотя, здесь сколько? Мне вот это интересно, конечно. Не да, нету. Пока все. Так, важные события в районе. Каждую ночь вы своими действиями улучшаете или ухудшаете состояние района. А состояние также может ухудшиться из-за распространения болезней. Так, а как это понимать? Важные события в районе. Состояние здоровья... Ага. Важные события. Чем больше вы убиваете, тем опаснее становится район. Если состояние здоровья жителей района окажется ниже критического уровня, он погрузится в хаос. Судьбу районов решаете вы. Угу, я понял. А состояние... Ай. Но я ж не хотел. Ладно. Объект. Да, Клей Кокс. Голова бандитов, этих тапков мокрых. Короче, их не пить нельзя. Точнее, их пить нельзя. Эти в паре, ребята. Эти тоже в паре. А, вот эти в паре, да? Я так понимаю. Ну, я просто не пойму. Но вот все люди, которые здесь есть. В этом районе, где я сейчас нахожусь. Это... Меню меню горожан. Меню. Так. Она. Дороти Крейн. Тяжелое состояние в районе. Пембрукская больница. Это неизвестный район. Это порт. В порту тоже не айс. Средства от переутомления. Примените лекарства. Угу. Да не, мне не нужен он. Я особо буду стараться не пить. Только по нужде. А там будет что будет. И это тоже неизвестный район. Да, я понял.
I'm to stay here until my research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Так, теперь я Так, теперь я со спокойной душой. Что с нашими глазами? Ладно, со спокойной душой могу сказать, что всем хорошего настроения. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки, комментарии оставляйте. И всем спокойной мрачной ночи. До скорого. Пока-пока.